Hello, this is Wendy De Rosa, and this video is on the question, why do I rebound or why do I go backwards after I receive a healing? And this comes out of a question that a student asked. She said that she does these deep, profound healings with me, and then she feels fantastic. And then she ends up falling backwards into the old pattern, or it goes away. Now, she's not alone. The questions come in many times. And so I just would like to explain this process. First of all, it's important to know that anytime you're creating a new groove and you're shifting a pattern, it is the experience of that groove being in place for a very long time. That can be 10 years, it can be 50 years. Anywhere in there, the brain chemistry, the nervous system, the physiology of the body, and the energy in the body have aligned to that particular way of existing and being in the world. And what we are asking our body to do is shift to a new way of doing it. Now, with that new way of doing it, I want to talk about this for a second. Going back to the first way. The first way, however our body is, and let's say the healing was on the belief system of I'm not lovable. Let's say there was a huge healing that happened around this ingrained in-core belief that deep down to the core of my being, I believe I'm not lovable. So not only has my whole brain chemistry and nervous system and physiology and energy body aligned and lived according to that belief in the body, but my bonding experience to the world also did. So now I've created structure around me to mirror that belief because it supports me in that deep belief of I'm not lovable. These are, the people I've attracted into my life. This is how I take care of myself in the world. This is how I honor my space around me, all according to this belief of I'm not lovable. Now we're starting to shift and start to work out the healing around the belief of I'm not lovable. And it doesn't always work that quickly that we can say, okay, start to believe you're lovable now. We have to start working with the healing. Where did that begin? How did that originate? Did you internalize it? Was it someone else's to begin with? So we start going through the healing process on that deep subconscious level. And if you've been in my healings, you do understand, that it's that there's an unraveling that happens. And so we come out of the healing and we're starting to live from a new state of consciousness in the body, but our bonding experience needs to change in the world around us. So now I need to start on a physical level, on a nervous system level, on a brain chemistry level, not only do I need to live from this energy, but I need to start making some choices, some personal choices, taking personal responsibility for my new belief or my new way of living in my body. If I'm going to shift from the inside out, now I've got to start shifting my outside. And so sometimes with these beliefs or with these deep healings, there's a change that might need to be made in your external life to mark a shift that you're making internally. Now, keep this in mind. Sometimes it takes up to 7 times of listening to something over and over again for 7 times for the body to really get it. Sometimes the first time does it once. And then this is why it's always nice to re-listen back to recordings of healings, because sometimes, and it doesn't always have to be 7 times for everybody, but it can be that I have to repeat this 7 times before my body really starts to get it, that there's a consciousness shift happening. And so sometimes this is why it's important when when we go through a healing, someone might say, gosh, I heard, that was I heard 10% of that, or I got an overview of it. And then we listen to it again and we got something else we didn't hear the first time. Listen to it again, you get something else you didn't hear the second time. The body can only process so much. And even I've heard things where people have said, you mentioned this, or we talked about this 2 years ago, and now it's finally sinking in. Even I've had students take a whole entire 9-month training program and then take it again from a different perspective because they learned something else they learned more the second time around because they were different. So we do often need to repeat and create more steadiness or more strength inside around a new shift that happens. But we also need to support ourselves in our environment. That might be, what do I need for accountability? What do I need for my own self-care and my practice to remind myself to come back into this felt sense of where I was when I was in that meditation? Or what do I need to shift in my diet or in my lifestyle or in my habits so that I'm really starting to commit to this new way of living from an energetic shift inside myself? So just keep it in mind that if you do fall backwards, it's okay. It might mean go back and listen to the meditation or go back and review the information that you learned. You might need to take it in on another level or hear it from a different perspective. You also might need to do that several times. And you also might need to shift something in your structure because you're creating new bonding, new attachment to yourself and the world, and living in a world in a different way. And keep in mind, there might be, a little bit of an awkward teenage stage with that in the world. Sometimes it doesn't mean that it's, we can pop out there in the world and the world's receiving us differently. And when I mean the world, I mean sometimes our close people. It might be a little bit awkward as the dynamics are shifting. But this is part of loving yourself and owning yourself and honoring the inner healing work that you're doing. In that awkward stage, keep in mind that even if it is awkward for some time, when you start living from your true center, you model something for someone else that they get to see and they get to learn and they get to be, to say, wow, that's interesting. I want some of that. I want to learn about that. Or what are you doing? You're glowing. It can be infectious and actually modeling something that's available for someone else to have for themselves. So blessings. I hope this supported you. If you'd like to learn more about what I have to offer, please visit the schoolofintuitivestudies.com. I run training programs and lots of YouTube videos and information that is supportive to you on your journey of developing your intuition and healing your energetic blocks. Many, many blessings.